Hey y'all, happy Sunday. It is our third annual picnic in the park out here at Welden Village. It's Sunday, October 20th. We've had a great day. Things are really cooking out here at Welden Village. We're here at 1781 Paxton with Chef Shelley Thompkins, and she is gonna make some things for us today here at Welden. She also has a YouTube channel that you can check out. So we wanna make sure that we are you guys know how thankful we are of Shelley for doing this. What a great group of residents we have here at Welden Village. We would love for other people to join us here at Welden, so make sure to check out Shelley's YouTube channel for this awesome cooking demonstration. Thank you so much. We know she has books available too that she'll talk about as well. So, all right, if you're ready, we're ready.
Yeah, awesome. So thanks again for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Cooking is definitely a passion of mine. I started this channel actually just about 3 years ago, because I found a lot of my friends were going to the grocery store and buying food there and complaining about not being able to save money or not lose weight. And so I woke up one morning and said, hey, let me try to find something to help my friends. And so the theme around the channel is simple, delicious, and healthier recipes for people on the go.
Wonderful.
And that's most of us. That's
you, right? That is me, on the go, couple kids. So I think whether or not we have kids, we're all involved in something. Especially if you're here at Welden, you want to come home, you want to be in a common area, dog park, maybe you want to hang out with your neighbors. So we're all on the go. So all right, we're ready.
Awesome, awesome. Now, one of the things that you're going to find with the foods that we're going to cook today, a lot of them, I know a lot of people are in keto, they're doing Whole30, they may have dietary concerns, and so I try to be as keto friendly as possible. So everything we're going to cook today actually is keto friendly.
Wonderful.
So just to let you know. So the first thing we're going to make is actually rice cauliflower with vegetables. And certainly you can go to Trader Joe's or Walmart even has the frozen cauliflower, rice cauliflower, or you can find it in produce. But I find actually it's much cheaper to do it yourself. And people don't realize you can do it in your nice Vitamix or a blender. You just have to cut it up and voila, you have rice cauliflower. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Why don't I get you to put a few of them in there?
Great.
We'll put it in the Vitamix.
I did wash my hands, by the way.
Yeah, we both washed our hands. That's very important, number one. So try to put about, put some more.
Okay.
Yep, you can put some more in there.
I'm very excited for this, by the way, because I don't cook. So anything I can do for healthy and on the go, I'm thrilled.
Okay, so we're gonna just give it, and you don't have to actually turn the dial up. Really, all you're doing is turning it on and just giving it a whirl. And guess what? In seconds, we have rice cauliflower.
Now, did you prep this cauliflower at all?
I washed it.
Okay, that's
it.
Didn't soak it. No, it seemed to go very quickly and easily.
Very quick. Okay. Very quick. Okay, so what we're gonna do, and I've tried to heat up our pan over here, is if you would hold this for me. What I like to, actually just put it right there for now. What I like to do is typically cook with olive oil. And the nice thing about olive oil is it's a good healthy fat. One of the things I love about keto is that it really is, it's not so much about eating a bunch of protein. People think about, oh, it's all the bacon and this and that. It's really about eating healthy fats. So I'll talk a little bit about that.
And we've been scared of fats. We have programmed to be scared of fats, so we need to know what good fat is.
Exactly. So you want to do olive oil. My husband will tell you I have a half an avocado every morning for breakfast. So all the good fats, when I think about pecans or walnuts, those kinds of things, that's what I would snack on. Another great thing is garlic. Woo! We love some garlic. Yeah, it's going to be smelling real good. And then I've chopped up some onion because I like to have these two really as a base. Onions are good for you as well. So we're going to put just about a little bit in here. And then I'm going to get you to kind of stir this around for me. I know you're drinking your wine.
Is wine on the keto diet?
Yeah, wine is on the keto diet. You're supposed to drink white wine, so I drink like a Pinot Grigio. But so very nice. Just keep stirring that.
Okay.
So that looks really good. I'm going to actually turn this off here. Looks good. So basically what you're doing is just slightly sauteing that. So now that you have that going, let's I have this one on high because we need to
Okay.
have it high on this little setup.
Great.
So let's go on and pour some of this in there.
You want it all?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
pour it all.
Great. Come on. There you go.
Got it?
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, so keep stirring that nicely. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure this gets brown. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more olive oil. And then while she's doing that, I'm gonna also add some salt and pepper, okay? And it's really kind of to your taste, you know. I would say if you're not sure, add about 1/8 of a teaspoon to start out, and then you can always add, okay? Now the nice thing about rice cauliflower, you can add all kinds of wonderful things to it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually add some peas and carrots and some corn. So you can add all kinds of things. A lot of times I'll just eat it like that. Now sometimes I do cheat a little bit. I do save my bacon grease, and I might add a little bacon grease to it. So.
Now, is this a recipe that you came up with, that you made up, or is it something
I did. I mean, what tends to happen, I'm gonna add just about a half a tablespoon of butter there as well. So what happens a lot of times, Tori, is I might be trying to come up with something to eat, and I'm just looking in the refrigerator and seeing what's in there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, yeah, I love rice cauliflower. I needed to find a substitute to rice, being on keto as well as Whole30, and so this was kind of my my go-to.
So how did you get interested in cooking and developing your own recipes?
So that all comes from my dad. So one of the things that my dad, and what we might want to do, we can let this spread it out a little bit so it'll cook a little evenly. Yeah. And then, okay, we have it
Clearly,
up on
I
high,
don't cook that much, so, okay.
Yeah, so let's let it brown a little bit. That's good. So my dad was a chef at one point in his life, and he really forced me growing up to watch him cook. He would make the family dinners on Sunday. And I mean, from homemade dumplings, all kinds of great stews and things of that nature. And so he forced me. I was like, why, Dad, do I have to do this? And he's like, "You're good. This is going to come in handy one day." And so just from that, he instilled in me, I would say, kind of a love of cooking. And I love food, and I want my food to taste good. You ask my husband, when I go somewhere, I'm very particular about how I order something, but you guarantee I will eat everything on that plate.
That's great.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite dishes?
Well, you mentioned guacamole. You mentioned avocado, so
Yeah.
I was wondering if you actually had like guacamole for breakfast. So I would say that, you know, just at this stage of my life, working so much, trying to sell Welden Village. Hi, the band's taking a break, so I got more people. We have more fans here. So I would say I think just with kids, it's just easy to. I mean, I just tend to do stuff that's easy and fast. So favorite foods would be anything Mexican, and I feel like the things that I can cook are breakfast, and I can cook, you know, somewhat of a healthy breakfast. But after that, it's how easy, how fast can it be? Can I get something somewhat healthy? So I have to admit, you know, I lean a little more toward the easy takeout.
Yeah.
But I would love something too that I could make, like some great recipes that I could make on the weekends and then keep during the week.
Yeah.
So just prep on a Sunday and then keep during the week.
And that's exactly what I do. Let's stir this a little bit. That's one of the things that I do. I freeze. I mean, I usually make just large portions on Saturday or Sunday, and then I freeze it.
Oh, okay.
And so that's really kind of how I get things going with me. So that still needs to cook some more, but while that's cooking, I'm going to go on and add some peas. And again,
are these frozen?
These are frozen, yeah. Now we've had it out for a little bit, so it's not frozen now, but these were frozen. I certainly prefer frozen food over canned food because it doesn't have the added sodium.
Right.
So this would be good.
So is this something that you're making as like a side or as an entree?
No, a side. Okay. But truly, you could cut up some chicken and cook that first. And this could be almost like chicken fried rice, you know? So you can absolutely do that. So I'm gonna go in and add a little bit more pepper to that. We like it nice pepper. Okay. And that's looking really good there. So it's not quite brown yet, so we want to make sure that it's nice and brown. Then I know the onions have been caramelized and they're done really well. So this is good. So what were all the festivities that were going on earlier today?
So it's been a good day so far at Welden. So we are very thankful. We have Jukebox Rehab here this week, this year playing. It is our 3rd annual picnic in the park. So we will do this again next year, and we really hope that you come back next year and do this again. So this is our 3rd annual picnic in the park. Oops, fine. Okay, is that good? Okay.
Come on back over
Thank
here.
you. Okay, good. So there we go. Thank you. So it is our 3rd annual picnic in the park. They've evolved a little bit every year. We do have a band this year, so Jukebox Rehab has been wonderful, and they've been here. They're getting ready to play their 2nd set.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been great. I was able to hear them. Unfortunately, I couldn't stand and watch them much, but they sound fantastic.
Nice.
We have a wonderful children's area that's got a bounce house. They're painting pumpkins this year. We've got a face painter.
Oh,
that's been
cool.
good. We have a lot of vendors up in the front too with a vendor market. That's been fun. Carriage rides we've had for the last couple of years and have them again this year. So that's been great. And then
Very
of course
nice.
all of our houses here at Welden are open, and we've had a great turnout and great support from the residents and from the public as well. So thank you to our residents here at Welden, because we definitely could not have done this without the support of you guys. We know it's a bit of a disruption in the traffic situation and what you normally do at home, so it's a little bit louder than it normally is, but we appreciate all the support. So.
Well, I tell you, I think I speak on behalf of the other residents. We're so excited about the square that's coming
Yes,
up.
absolutely.
And all the additional amenities, the grocery store,
Yes.
the swimming pool, the
Yes.
clubhouse. So we're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's logistically it's a little bit harder this year, but hopefully this is the last year that it's quite so difficult. Next year we will certainly still have the homes open here in Eastover and then in Welden Ridge, but we will also have the Creek Club open. So we'll have a clubhouse and a pool to do this at next year.
And I can't believe next year we'll have a clubhouse.
Next year we'll have a clubhouse and a swimming pool.
Impressive.
So it's going to be great.
Now we'll be able to have pool parties.
Yes. And this looks like it would travel easily, so we can take this to the pool too.
Oh yeah, this travels great. Okay, so we've got to do a little taste test because I usually make it a little browner, so I want to make sure it's where we need it. So let me try it.
This is part of it, right? The chef always tastes, right? You got to do a taste test.
It's tasting good. It needs a little bit more salt. Let's do that. And I think what we're gonna do while this is actually get going is, why don't you put some of we've got some barbecue drumettes.
Great.
Put that on the platter. And then we can get our folks to get some of that. And then that time, this should be just about ready.
Wonderful.
Okay? So we've got a team effort going on here.
For sure.
So we're gonna make a few different dishes here today. We're starting out with the rice cauliflower. And then to that, we're actually gonna also do fried cabbage. A lot of people haven't had fried cabbage. From southern dishes, a lot of people tend to like boiled cabbage, but you actually boil away so many of the nutrients that you lose the value. So I'm gonna show you how to make fried cabbage. And then one of my favorite recipes, I actually was not a Brussels sprout person until I went to a cooking class and they showed us how to make Brussels sprouts with bacon. Oh, I've been in love with Brussels sprouts ever since.
And it's keto friendly, right?
And it's keto friendly.
Okay,
yes,
good.
It's keto friendly. I've made it keto friendly. It is so delicious. I mean, I can tell you the bad stuff to add it if you want to, but I don't think it's actually even necessary. All right, so I think we're pretty good with this. Again, I tend to make sure it's kind of brown, but I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on. Let's let the folks that's joining us by video to see kind of how this looks. Cooked up really well, and I think it's time for us to let the others that are here join us.
Wonderful. Okay,
so let's do it.
Y'all come on up. Taste test.
All right.
Audience participation.
So, Tori, we're gonna now try fried cabbage.
Okay. Wonderful.
Now, most people from the South, I actually call myself a Northern girl with Southern ways. because I was born in New Jersey, but both my parents are from the South. And I came up with this recipe because with vegetables, I find that a lot of recipes from the South kind of overcook. So you take out the nutrients in the vegetable. And so I came up with this actually as a way to maintain a lot of the nutrients. And it's the simplest recipes as all. So what I've done is I've actually already started this. It's kind of hot here, and this is butter. I'm using a tablespoon of butter here. And then what I'm gonna get you to do, Tori, is I'm gonna get you to add some of the cabbage to it, okay?
So is this something that you mentioned bacon grease, but that's not for the cabbage,
fish,
just butter?
No, this is just butter. Yep, just butter.
So what kind of you tell me when to stop?
Yeah, I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going.
So is anything special tips on buying the cabbage?
That's a really good question. I would say you want to make sure you've got some nice green leaves on the outside as much as possible, because you end up taking off most of it. So I think that's going to be good for right now.
Right.
So what you do with this recipe is, again, the simplest thing of all. You make sure you've got it kind of coated with the butter. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna add some salt and pepper. So I'm gonna get you to just kind of sprinkle some salt. Yep, that's good. And I always do less and then add more, right? So we taste it and see how it goes.
Great.
That looks good. And then the only other thing actually that we're gonna add to this is a drop of water. Okay.
So why water?
Water just helps with the steam, because we're going to put a lid on this, and so I'm just going to add just a little bit of water. Actually, it's not even like an eighth of a cup. And then we're going to put the lid on it. And so what's going to happen is it's going to cook all on its own here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit more butter, because I'm just looking at, we have quite a bit in there. So we're going to let it do its thing, and we're not going to touch it for a little bit. Let me just make sure, stir this that way. We're gonna just let it sit for a little bit.
And you don't worry that it's gonna burn or anything?
It's not gonna burn.
Great.
Yeah, it's not gonna burn. But this is kind of one of my favorite dishes. I was actually introduced to this dish by a girlfriend of mine from Alabama. And so it's just kind of taken off. This was my very first video, by the way, on my YouTube channel. And so I said I was gonna do an upgraded version of it, but it's just a simple but goodie. And I get so many of my friends saying, do you know, I still make that cabbage, you know, I love it, it's simple, it's easy, it's delicious, all those great things.
And what do you make? So the cabbage is a side too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you pair it with?
So for me, I don't eat red meat. So I'm usually putting this, I could put this, pair this with salmon or chicken. So here again, we've made some barbecue drumettes, so easy to make. Again, we're all fighting for time.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I love doing things in a crock pot. So, and I found when I cook my barbecue chicken overnight, I'll put it on low, that serves beautifully with cabbage or again the rice cauliflower. Those are all great combinations.
So if you do eat red meat, I'm from Texas.
Yes.
If you do eat red meat, what would go well with the fried cabbage?
I would say like pork chops.
Great, okay.
I do turkey chops. So see again here, I'm always trying to come up with the other version.
I like the other white meat.
The other white meat, literally.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll do turkey chops, but pork chops would go really well with this. Steak would be great with this. You know, I just treat this like another green vegetable.
Well, that'd be a great alternative to a baked potato. So a little bit healthier. So
yeah, and just think about the steak. You had your cauliflower, rice, and cabbage.
Yeah, be great.
Oh my
gosh, wonderful. That'd
be
great.
That's a nice little pairing there. So
and white wine, not red wine.
Oh yeah, and white wine, right? So on the keto, I mean, keto basically, you know, you're not supposed to be drinking any, but if you do what's called dirty keto, which is what I do,
I have not heard that term before,
yeah,
but I think that's perfect.
You're not, that's
dirty keto.
You're not strict keto. Dirty keto is not strict keto, right? So then if you do that, you can drink like Chardonnay or Pinot Grigio.
Okay.
It has less sugar. You can't do any Rieslings or anything like that. You know, that's my favorite actually. All right, so we're gonna take a little look at this. And we're just gonna stir it around a little bit.
So what are you looking for to say that it's done or next steps? How do you judge this?
I'm judging this by the tenderness of the cabbage.
Okay.
I don't want it to be overcooked, but at the same time, I don't want it to be, you know, not cooked enough.
So like,
and it's kind of one of those hard things. Thank you so much. It's
cabbage al dente?
A little bit more than al dente is what I would probably say.
That's all I really want to say. I mean.
Yeah, a little more than al dente, if that makes sense. So
but
let's
not
just
soggy.
cook it, but no, not soggy because, hey, you might as well boil it. But again, that's what most people do, particularly again from the South. When you think about cabbage, you think about boiling it, putting it in water, and you know, cabbage doesn't have a lot of nutrients in it anyway, to be honest with you. So then when you boil it, you really have taken everything out. Got it. All right, this is actually looking pretty good. I'm gonna toss this one more time, and I'm going to, I just based on how much salt you put on there, I think we need a little bit more salt, and then I'm gonna taste it and see how it tastes. So, very nice, very nice. Let's add some more pepper as well. Nice, gotta have good pepper. And again, is this simple or what?
Very simple.
Okay. All right, so now I've got to taste it, okay? Because that's where the rubber meets the road. We've got to taste it to make sure.
I think the great thing too is not only are the recipes simple, but the ingredients are simple. So you don't have to go to different specialty stores to get these ingredients. So that makes it easy too.
It sure does. All right, this is going to be like really, really hot, but let's try it to see if we need anything else.
That good. That's all that good.
Got it, so good.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna put just a little bit more for good measure. Okay. A little bit. And I usually use sea salt also. So
why sea salt?
Sea salt is better for you in terms of how it's processed. Okay. So you want to use that.
Isn't it a little bit thicker though?
It is. So you don't have to use as much.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, that's it. All right, guess what? This is ready for us.
Okay, great.
Okay,
awesome.
So wonderful. Just for you out in TV land, this is kind of how it looks. It smells good too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna now
that means the house should sell today, right? Because it smells so good.
Yeah.
We're going with that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Are you available every Sunday?
Well, yes, there's a fee, but not every Sunday. But that's one of the things when whenever I was trying to sell a house, I always cooked before I did my open house. So the house always, and then I would leave a batch of cookies.
Yeah.
And so I never had. I've always sold my houses over like a weekend, 3-day period.
Wonderful.
So
don't sell anytime soon. We love you here.
Oh no, no, we love you here as well. All right, so thanks a lot on this one. We're gonna now take a break and dive in.
Great.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so our last vegetable that we're gonna make before we make our chocolate mug cake. So this is a recipe that I was turned on to after going to a cooking class because I didn't actually eat Brussels sprouts before. And I just fell in love with Brussels sprouts after this particular kind of class. And so now I make it all the time. So what we're gonna do, simple ingredients. We've got olive oil already kind of heated up for us here, just a little bit. You can see the smoke there. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna get you to put the Brussels sprouts down. I'm gonna say face down. So with this part, when you put it in, just make sure it's down. So you can go on and put them down like that.
Why face down?
Because you're gonna know that they're cooked because the outside turns really green. Okay. So we're gonna put them all on there. And then what we're gonna do is once it's almost done, we're gonna actually, oops, here, why don't you use that? Let me turn it down a little bit. And let me actually put it over here to help you out a little bit, okay? And I'll kind of do like that, okay? So we can get it on, it's not too hot. So again, you put these face down and they're so delicious. I love Brussels sprouts. Now I do have a kale Brussels sprouts recipe actually on my YouTube, and it's raw Brussels sprouts. I didn't think I'd like them, but when you slice them thin, they are fabulous.
So the only time I truly eat Brussels sprouts is maybe like Easter or a big
really?
holiday. So do you?
Why is that?
I don't know.
Oh. I eat it whenever I can.
So this is something that you incorporate into your daily routine?
Oh yeah.
Brussels sprouts?
I mean, this could be any day of the week. Yeah, let's put enough on here. And I mean, I know there are a lot of leaves here, but I would be using, I put the leaves on and everything, but I try to get them all in first, like so.
So are Brussels sprouts good year round?
They are fabulous.
And how about the nutrients, as we talked about in the cabbage?
These are one of those great nutrient vegetables that's good for you.
Good.
Okay, all right, we're good. So I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil, okay, to this side over here. And then what we're gonna see is once they start turning a deep green, which I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
So let's turn this heat back up to 5.
So are you on high?
I'm on high on this,
okay.
But normally speaking, when I'm on my regular oven, I'm probably on midway. So from 1 to 10, I'm usually on about a 5. So we're gonna let these cook really well, and they're gonna turn a dark green. So I want you to take a good look at them now, and then I'm gonna show you how they've changed. So let's talk a little bit about the bacon while that's cooking. We will add salt and pepper to it. So I really wasn't a bacon eater. And I found though that there's some really, really good premium cut bacon that doesn't have sugar or antibiotics or any of those things added to it. Actually, one of my favorite is Peterson's. You can get it from Harris Teeter, Earth Fare, Whole Foods, any of those stores. And so, you know, it's just really good bacon, you know.
So we talked a little bit about how it was easy to be able to shop. You didn't have to go to specialty stores, but I would think that living where we live, there are a lot of meat markets, and is this bacon something you could get at a meat market with no sugar added, or is it something really better to buy at the brands you're talking about?
Yeah, I think probably those brands.
Great.
Yeah,
because you know what's in it.
Exactly. You've got, and I read labels all the time. You know, I've become a label reader for sure. So let's just say you don't have a lot of time, or let's say you don't have a Harris Teeter next to you and you've got to go to Walmart. My next favorite is this Hormel. And this particular one is this one is uncured bacon, and that's really critical. You want uncured bacon. Now, if you're really pressed for time, hey, these are fully cooked. You could pop it in the microwave if you had it for breakfast for 30 seconds and you're good to go.
So why is the uncured a better choice?
It's just the way it's been processed, so it's not had, again, a lot of the additives, added to it. So it's uncured, it's not been cured and added all those things. Exactly.
We're going for natural.
We're going for natural. Now, take a look. Can you see something happening?
Yep. They're getting darker green.
They're getting a darker green. So when they're all dark green, then we're going to know that they are absolutely ready.
And you don't want to turn them. You want to cook them just like this. Just let them cook.
I do not turn them till they're almost ready. And when I see that the bulk of them are dark green, then I'll turn one over just to kind of see. It should be lightly brown. And then when that happens, then we're going to take the bacon and we're going to just spread it in there, to warm it up. Now, typically what I do is I actually cook the bacon first. So I typically don't buy the fully cooked. I will cook the bacon. I will take the bacon grease, put it aside, and then I'll take the Brussels sprouts and put it in a bowl like this and stir it up, and then put it on my pan. So you can do it either way, but now you've used the bacon grease and it's really good.
Is that dirty keto again, the bacon grease? Are we good with keto?
No, it's so good because it's uncured bacon, no sugar. You're good. You're on. It's not dirty. That's whole keto right there. That's strict keto.
Just checking.
So, and then only thing we're gonna add to this, once we put the bacon is, we're just gonna add salt and pepper.
Great.
And that is all we're going to do. Wonderful. So it's pretty cool.
What do you normally eat with your Brussels sprouts?
Again, I treat this as a side, so just look at this meal here. I mean, you could do your cauliflower rice or any other kind of rice, your broccoli with bacon, your chicken, your pork chops, your beef. Really, it's a great side.
And is this something that will freeze as well?
It freezes nicely. Good. Although when I make my Brussels sprouts, I'm consuming all of it. So
you like them.
I love them. And again, this is a person who didn't enjoy Brussels sprouts before. You know, it's kind of one of those things that you don't know. You know, oh, I don't like that, but you know. All right, so we're going to take a look at it because these are looking pretty good. I see the outside ones are perhaps not as brown. And so, okay, you're probably going to be surprised. Look at that.
Oh my.
Woo!
Okay.
So now we're doing good. So now I'm going to kind of shift these around because my suspicion is that the outside is not cooked as well. So we're going to kind of shift it around a little bit. So see, the ones on the outside can get in a little bit, get on this heat. And then we're going to go on and add, but yeah, we've got most of them kind of done. Gotta make sure.
So if you buy Brussels sprouts or cauliflower, about how long is it gonna last in your refrigerator?
Whew.
So could you do your shopping on a Sunday and maybe cook it on a Wednesday?
Oh my God, yes. At least a whole week.
Okay.
An entire week, yeah. I mean, typically that's what I do. I typically shop on Saturday for the whole week. And then a lot of times I will cook on Saturday and then like I'll put them away in a bowl like this and bring it out on Wednesday or Tuesday because, you know, I work full time. I love my job. I work actually at the Center for Creative Leadership. That's my full-time gig.
Wonderful.
And
this is a pretty busy part-time gig.
Yes. This is, so my husband, this is my little hobby here. But yeah, this is looking really good.
Well, I think he benefits from the hobby. But he's probably a pretty good helper too.
He's a great helper and he's spoiled. I mean, come on, let's be honest. How many people get home cooked meals every day?
Nobody.
Wow. No one.
So about how much time do you give yourself at night? So obviously you plan for the week on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You buy on Saturday. You probably prep some on Sunday. About how much time do you give yourself every day during the week to make the meal?
Well, you know, if a lot of times I'll cook on Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
So then I'm just warming up.
Okay.
That's how I make it happen. I'm also really big on freezing. So I will portion things out and freeze it and, you know, come home from work and you're good to go.
So if you were to freeze, say, the cauliflower, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you do once you take it out of the freezer? How do you prep it after that?
The only thing I do is I put it in the size container that I'm gonna like cook it. So I might just put it in a quart size.
Okay.
Just a portion that I think I'm gonna cook for dinner.
Okay.
And then I'll just split that up.
Great.
But you don't have to do anything to it. You're just putting it in that bag, sealing it up, making sure you get as much air out of it as you can.
Okay.
And then you're good to go.
And then you're putting it back on the stove?
No, usually I'm just gonna microwave it for a little bit, yeah.
Do you add any water to it?
No,
when you microwave it, just put it in.
Yeah, okay. I just put it in. I try not to cook it again, I'm just warming it. So you can use like the settings on the stove. So see, these are looking really good still.
So maybe a little bit of trial and error on some of the frozen items.
Yeah, again, what I always say is start low. And then you can add more. Okay. So I would hate for you to overcook something and that's not gonna be a good thing, right? All right, so while this is actually almost completely ready, why don't you add some of the bacon to it? So we're basically, since this is already pre-cooked, we're just warming it up.
Okay, you want me to add all of it?
Yeah, just spread it kind of all throughout.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Spread that, and while you're doing that, I'm going to add a little salt and pepper.
Great.
And again, I normally would use sea salt. Again, you don't have to use as much. Okay, a little salt and pepper. Okay. So this is definitely one of my favorite dishes. And I learned this at Sur La Table, actually, when I was in Charlotte.
I don't know how you pronounce that.
Oh, yeah.
Sur la table.
Yeah, I used to think
Now I
that
know.
too. It's French, so. Yes.
Oh, this looks great and it smells great too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm excited to taste this one.
Oh yeah, this looks good. All right. Well, you know
Right.
what? We're
Deep green.
Yeah, deep green. That's what you're looking for.
Okay.
That's when you know it's ready. So this is deep green. Again, let's just get the bacon a little bit.
And you
Put it
don't
in
feel
the
like
middle.
you don't need to brown all four sides. So as long as
Oh,
the
no,
first
no, no.
side is brown, you got
Yes.
the nutrients still in there and they're
Oh
cooked.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
great.
You only brown the inside. That's all you brown.
So now we're just adding a little flavor.
Yeah, we're adding a little flavor. Now, if you want to cheat and you're okay with that, you can always add a little brown sugar. That takes it to another level.
Okay. Still keto friendly?
No,
No,
it's not.
okay.
That's why I don't
Dirty
add
keto.
it. No, I don't even add that.
Don't do it.
I do dirty keto and I still don't add that. So, I don't add that at all. All right, I would say that this is pretty much ready. Let's show the camera just
Wonderful.
how fabulous that looks. And then we're gonna let our tasters now come and enjoy some of our treats.
Awesome. Vegetable number 3. Sounds good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
sounds good. All right, it's time for dessert.
Dessert time.
Woo!
Keto friendly, right?
Keto friendly.
Awesome.
You know,
Okay,
that
good.
was one of the hardest things, you know, because with keto, you're really kind of ridding yourself of sugars.
Right.
And so I had to learn about the sugar alternatives, and these are actually things that physicians prescribe diabetics to use in place of sugar. I mean, sugar really has been detrimental to all of our health, quite honestly. And it's very rare now that I use sugar. So one of the things that I like is this organic stevia.
Okay.
And so it's plant-based, and not all stevias are created equal. So I love this organic pure blend. It doesn't have an aftertaste. Some of them do. This is the one that I buy. And you know what? You can even get it at Walmart. So it's in
What I
most
was gonna
stores.
ask,
Yeah,
so-
it's very easy.
We're still in easy shopping.
We're still in easy
Great.
shopping. The other thing is I now don't use regular flour. I cook almost everything with either coconut flour or almond flour. Now you can ask my husband, you can ask my neighbors. I make a coconut pound cake, and my neighbor comes over and he has his to-go plate. You know, I can have some pound cake to go. You know, this is my keto cake, Raymond. You know, he doesn't care. You know, I want some and then I want some to go. So, but anyway, so I only use these two flours now. I don't use the regular flour.
It's a good thing the residents know your address, because I don't think you're going to disclose it after that comment, or do you have more people knocking on the door for some cake?
Don't say anything about where I live. The other thing that I use is the unsweetened cocoa. Okay, so that's what we have here, 100% unsweetened chocolate. Okay, so to make this cake, and so this is called a chocolate mug cake, you're gonna start with a tablespoon of butter.
Great.
Okay, so I have an idea, and guess what? If you're not sure what a tablespoon of butter looks like, guess what? It's marked on the package. So it's easy to find. Can you put this in the microwave for us for, let's just say a minute.
Okay.
We may take it out a little sooner. And so this is kind of one of the simplest desserts. It's enough that usually it serves 2 people. It's big enough for 2 people. And it's funny thing is I usually make it in a bowl, and I'll cut it in half, give 1/2 to my husband, and then I'll put some keto-friendly ice cream on the side. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good.
So I think when people hear keto friendly and dessert, they're not really thinking it's the same.
Exactly, exactly. But it is the same. Awesome, so that's nice and melted.
Right.
So let's put that in the middle. So to this, we're gonna add then, let's put a tablespoon of coconut flour.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get you to do that, so
Okay.
you can
Can I
take
put it in the
that.
butter?
Yep,
Okay.
put that there, and we're gonna even it out. I'll be your
Great.
assistant,
Thank
okay?
you.
Got a tablespoon of that.
Wonderful.
The stevia, it's pretty sweet. So this goes more like half. So if you were to use a tablespoon of regular sugar, you'd use a half of a tablespoon for stevia. All right, so for this one, we're gonna add 1.5 tablespoons. So let's get that, even that off, okay? And then we're gonna add just about a half. You can do half a teaspoon, it's good.
Half a teaspoon?
Yeah, half a teaspoon is gonna be fine.
It's funny, you can smell it. It even smells sweet.
Yeah,
So.
it does. It's a sweetener for sure. Okay, there we go. All right, now to that, you still need your measuring spoon. We're gonna add a tablespoon of cocoa. So add the tablespoon of cocoa.
So is there a reason you're not stirring it until it's all in there?
Yeah, because we want it all to be stirred up together.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put a half a teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
So that in there.
Great.
Okay, a little bit more. Yep. All right. Awesome.
Great.
Okay, now to this, we're gonna crack an egg. We're gonna put this in here. And then I'm gonna get you to beat this for me really well. I always also put a little dash of vanilla flavoring. So just a dash, okay?
This sounds like a recipe that you've perfected.
Sort of. It's like after a while, you know, I said there's a difference between kind of making a dish and cooking.
Okay.
My dad taught me to cook. My mother taught me how to make dishes.
Okay.
So making a dish for me is something definitely measured. Cooking is, let me take a little bit of that, let me try a little bit of that, and you don't really follow too much of a recipe.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna mix that really well. That looks beautiful. Okay, I think you've done a great job with that. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna get you to sprinkle a little bit of the semi-sweet chocolate. So this part here is not keto friendly because we just have the Nestle semi-sweet. But, and what I want you to do is spread it evenly on the top. But Lily, which you also can get from Walmart, Lily actually has a brand that's keto friendly. So what we do, that's simple. We're gonna now put that in the microwave for 1 minute.
Okay.
So we're gonna pop it in. And while we're doing that, since we have a few guests, we're gonna do a couple more while that's doing it. Okay.
Same thing.
You keep an eye on that.
Great.
And then I'll put this together so they won't be fighting over it. Spoon. Mix this in here really quickly so then when that one comes out, then we can just throw another one in. Did it finish? Did it pop?
Well, it popped. I'm gonna let you check it before we
Okay, that didn't pop.
30 more. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll put it in for 30 seconds.
Okay,
Just
so
check.
here's a rule.
Okay.
You, okay, put it back in, okay. So here's
There you
a
go.
rule.
Okay.
You put it in 1 minute, you don't touch it.
Okay.
Or else it'll fall like that.
Okay.
So let's see how this works out. We'll see how it works. But you put it in.
We have more ingredients.
Yeah, you put it and you don't take it out
Okay.
at all. Okay? So, but hey, you live and learn, right?
There you go.
So, it's all
Back to
good.
that cooking thing.
Yeah,
Not making a dish.
Exactly. So some things you do have to follow. All right, so we've got that. Now what I didn't do is to put in another bowl. All right, let's look and see how that turned out. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. So let's put that there. Let's put that there and we're just gonna let it cool a little bit. And I'm gonna make another one. Okay, here, put this in for me for 30 seconds. I'm gonna put a dash of our vanilla in. Okay. And I'm gonna put 1 egg. So 4 lucky people are going to walk out of here, pull up one of those bags over there.
Oh, these, okay,
Yeah.
right.
It's pre-mixed. All
Okay.
you have to do is add a tablespoon of butter
Right, okay.
and 1 egg.
Wonderful, great.
So that's ready.
So when you, so as you're making these, you're making individual servings.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome.
Okay, you can pour that right in here for me.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
So the live audience is going to be excited about this, right?
Yes. Oh my God. Can't you see?
Great.
They're like, "Ooh, I can't wait." They're like, woo, let's see what this is going to be like. And again, I usually serve this with ice cream.
Awesome. So you
Really
mentioned
good.
keto-friendly ice cream. Is that something we can
Yes.
find in the store?
Yeah, it's called Carb Smart.
Okay. Carb
So
Smart.
again, it's not strict keto.
Okay.
So I want you to put this in for
1 minute.
1 minute.
I got it. 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute.
Somebody else in here is telling me 1 minute.
1 minute. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do then is we're gonna take the knife here and we're gonna cut it in fours. And then we'll do the same with the other, and then we'll let ours. So this is kind of how it looks. The little indentations are because of the chocolate chips. They just melt down. And you don't want to, I like putting the chocolate chips on top, but you can put it in the middle, it'll stir it up, whatever works for you.
So important to note, these are just plain bowls. So
Plain
just
bowls.
plain paper bowls.
That's
Nothing
right.
fancy.
You
Great.
can
So
use
easy.
glass bowl, whatever
Okay.
bowls you have.
Okay.
I mean, these are called mug cakes, and what people tend to do is put them in a coffee mug, which you absolutely can. When you put it in a coffee mug, it'll come right up to the top.
Got it. Okay.
But because I don't eat the whole thing, you know, I like putting it in a bowl, and then you can slice it up and share it. You know,
Fantastic.
much easier to do. All right, so we've got a few seconds. Okay. All right, there we go. Here we go. We've got another beautiful chocolate mug cake.
Definitely looks a little bit better when it's been in there for the whole
Yes,
minute.
smell.
Woo, yes, yes.
What a
Very
nice
good.
aroma. All right, so we have actually finished our demo for today. We've had 3 side dishes.
Yes, absolutely.
We've had the barbecue chicken wings or drumettes, and now our dessert. So we're done.
Awesome. Thank
We're
you so
done.
much. Thank you. Thank you. This has been great. So we definitely learned a few things today. We learned how easy it is to be quick and healthy. We learned how to freeze things ahead of time. We learned a mug cake that's easy. We learned a little bit about dirty keto, and we also learned that Welden has the most fabulous neighborhood, the most fabulous neighbors in the triad. So thank you so much for participating. We had a great time. We learned a lot, and we're just very appreciative that you're one of us at Welden. So
Yes.
thank you. Y'all have a great day.